All right, and welcome to Tech Team 6 podcast. I am Miss Kempson, and I am here with your podcast members.
Leo, Andrew, Allison, Charity, Maya.
And I am Miss Kempson. And let's get started with today's topic. All right, so today's topic is about bullying. What do you guys think bullying is?
Bullying is like picking on someone.
Okay.
I think bullying is verbal or physical mistreatment of a person, and the person experiences it often by the same person or group of people.
Okay.
I think bullying is to seek harm, intimidate, or
Mm-hmm.
make fun of.
I think bullying is like trying to hurt somebody in a mental or physical way.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because I heard you guys say harm and stuff like that. But remember, it's not just one way. It can be physical and it can be emotional and mental. Okay.
So, like probably like you're having like a bad day. You want to make yourself feel better by making someone else feel bad.
Right.
Because some people have depression, and if you bully them, they can make your depression even worse.
That's good. Now, the one thing that I want you guys to remember when you're talking about bullying, sometimes kids will say, well, this person bullied me, but it's one thing that the person said about you. So if they said something mean about your hair or, your shirt or something like that, one-time occurrence is not bullying. It's right. It's mocking. It's mean. It's just something that they said. But if it,
something constant.
there you go. It's constant. It's repetitive. So the way Henry County defines bullying is it's an act or any willful attempt to inflict injury on another person, and it can be accompanied by an apparent present ability to display force that will give the victim a reason to be fearful or have bodily harm. It also can be intentional, written, verbal, or physical act, and it's something that a reasonable person would perceive as being threatened or harassed or intimidated. It also can cause another person physical harm, visible bodily harm. It has effects on another student's education. It is severe, it's persistent, it can even be persuasive, and it can basically disrupt the orderly operation of the school. So there is an organization that I work with that deal with youth who have gone through different types of trauma, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical. And what happens is they have this machine where they can test like brain waves and stuff. And when they tested the patients, it showed that mental abuse looked the same way for physical abuse. So even though one you can see, the other one can't, they still both have the same effects.
Mental is actually more painful than physical bullying because it can stick with you for the rest of your life, while physical harm can actually heal.
Right, the physical part can heal up, and you don't necessarily have to see that, but you will never see the emotional part of it. Have you guys had any experience with being bullied or knowing someone who's been bullied, and like how did
bullied
you?
in first grade, and I know it was bullying because every single day of the year, the child will pick on me or manipulate me into doing something, or they make me feel bad or scare me. And she just took advantage of me being very nice to her. So every day of the year until I talked to a counselor, she was being rude to me.
So it helped by you talking to an adult.
Yes.
So what about the kids who don't have an adult to talk to, or they're fearful about the adults?
I mean, I feel like they can just trust like a friend or just come to you to for help, or like they can tell their friend and their friend can tell a trusted adult that they know. So
But don't be afraid of the bully either.
They can either ignore.
Yeah, you can try to ignore it, and sometimes that works, but sometimes it may not. So I think that because of your age group, one thing is learning who you are. This is development age for all of you. So you're learning who you are, you're learning who you like, and
Trying to
figuring out where you are. And at this point, your friends' opinions may be more valuable than your parents' opinions. And it all will shift and change. So learning how to be comfortable in your own skin, love your own skin, love yourself, the things that you like, and not being like everybody else, I think is so important. But it's just like I can sit here and I can say all day, Andrew, you are the smartest kid I know. You are the most talented football player I know. Or, I can give you all of these compliments, but if you don't believe it, then it doesn't have or hold any value.
People are just trying to fit in with everyone else.
Right. And I think social media does not help with that. I think
on social media, you can see everybody's opinion. So at that point, you just care about all the mean comments. You don't know what else to
right.
say, even if there's more nice comments.
The comments and the fans.
Right. But sometimes people just post stuff and make it look really glamorous, and that's not really how they're living. Nobody wants to post bad stuff about themselves.
I mean, really, you can't, like, some people, like, if someone comments like a hateful comment, then you can just like not take it as seriously, take it as as a compliment, as a way to fix what you're doing bad.
Okay. And then the other thing that some of you probably thought about, or maybe not, some kids who end up being bullies are doing it because they're going through something at home. So.
At home, at school, or if they had an experience.
She had so many siblings, she never got attention at home from her parents. So the only way she got attention was negative attention through bullying.
Right. And so, see, there you go. So this one kid wanted attention. So that's their way of getting the attention that they wanted, whether it's good or bad. Some kids just need that attention, or it could be they're being bullied at home, they're being abused at home. I mean, it's so many things that could cause kids to act out. I feel like when a child acts out, it's for a reason. Like, we may not know the reason, but it's definitely for a reason. No child is going to act out just because it's the thing to do. And I was talking with another group earlier, and I was explaining to them how this kid is very smart, very bright, stays in trouble all the time. But it's because he's bored. He's the first to finish his work. He could make straight A's if he wanted to. He can take a test without having to study, but he's bored. So the teachers end up getting frustrated with his behavior because he's not doing what he's supposed to, but he's also not being challenged enough. Yeah. So, that's always a problem. So how do you guys think we can stop bullying, or how can students stop bullying?
Maybe someone can try to stand up or tell a teacher.
Okay.
Students can stop bullying by being nice to people who are sad or mad about something. Bullying hurts people's feelings and makes them sad.
I agree. So let me ask you this. If you come in the morning and you're having a bad day, let's say you left your lunch, you stepped in a mud puddle, you got mud all over your clothes, you're hungry, you missed breakfast because you were running late, you almost missed the bus, you're already starting off with a bad day. But if you first thing you see is your teacher and they're like, "Why are you doing this? Stop doing this!" and they're yelling and screaming, is that going to make your day any better?
No. Make it worse. It's going to be frustrating.
Exactly.
Which is going to have your behavior way worse than it already is.
Exactly. So you have to kind of think of it in the sense of, because you don't know what someone is going through, you always want to just be kind. Treat other people how you want to be treated. I mean, that's really what you want to do. Exactly. The golden rule. So just try to remember, be kind. You're not going to agree with everything somebody says, and you don't have to like everybody, but you must respect that person's individuality.
Like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
There you go. All right. Well, that's it, you guys, for Tech Team 6. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next month.